Greetings, everybody. Today we're going to be flying out of Millinocket Municipal Airport, and we're going to be heading south towards the coast to Hancock County Bar Harbor Airport, which is located in Trenton, Maine, I believe. And as you can see, we're going to be flying the Comanche 250. This particular trip was a request from someone on one of our social media pages. And I thought it would make for an interesting trip as we're flying from the central part of the state to the coast. And if we take a look at the map, you can kind of see what I'm talking about. We're going to be departing here, and this is, like I said, Millinocket Municipal, located in Millinocket, Maine, which is just south of Baxter State Park, where Mount Katahdin is located. And if you noticed in the background of our intro shot here with the plane, you can see the mountain off into the distance. But anyways, we're going to be departing from Millinocket on runway 11, and then we're going to be making a turn south at a heading of 184 for 17.6 nautical miles, which will take us to Lincoln Regional Airport in Lincoln, Maine. And so we're going to pass through that town, and we're basically following, you'll notice this river here. This is the Penobscot River. We're going to basically be following the Penobscot River down. We'll be hitting Buzzport, which is a small airfield, grass airfield near Howland, and then eventually we're going to be traveling south another 16 nautical miles from there to Old Town Municipal Airport, located in Old Town, Maine. And again, we're going to continue along the river until we get through. We're going to be passing through Bangor, and we'll see a good view of Bangor International Airport. And then eventually we're going to hit Bucksport, and the goal is to hit Isoboro, but I think what we're going to do is we'll hit Bucksport, and then we're just going to make an immediate turn to our approach transition, which is Beckra. From there, we're going to try to land on runway 22 on Hancock County Bar Harbor, or KBHB. They do have ILS set up, but we're not going to be using that. So, going into the simulator here, we're going to prepare our aircraft. So let's go ahead and jump into the cockpit. And it's been sitting here for a little bit, and we don't have anything running. Everything's closed up, and as you can see, the windows are fogging. So first things first, I'm going to unlock the door here and open it up. And that should bring some fresh air in and clear the windows. So we want to remove the control locks. In this case, we have a bungee cord that's attached to the two yokes, so we're going to remove that so we can move them freely. See. And parking brake is on. Fuel tanks, we're going to turn to on for now. And so that should do it. What we're going to do is we're going to take this tablet out, and we're going to commence our walk around. But first, what we're going to do is turn the master switch on, which gives us some power. And then we're going to turn the strobe and beacon lights on. We want to check to make sure that those are working. So we're going to start our walk around. We're going to go outside the aircraft and check the flaps, make sure those are solid. They are. Ailerons free and clear. Good. The lights, they're functioning, which is good. We're going to go to the other side of the aircraft and check those lights. Those are working. In the back of the aircraft, we have some lights here, and we have another light here, and they're all working. So let's go back in, and we're going to shut the master switch off. Turn those lights off. And now we're going to finish the rest of the walk around, which we are going to remove the tie downs on the right side, and we're going to check the fuel on the right side wing. And it looks like there is fuel in there, which is good. We're going to close that. Okay, and then we're going to remove the wheel chocks on this side. And then we're going to move to check the fuel. We want to check for impurities, water, that kind of thing. And it looks good. So we're going to close that. Next, we're going to inspect the propeller. Make sure there's no damage or anything like that. I don't see any, so we're good. And then we're going to check the oil. Oil looks good. Close the cover, latch it. Next, we're going to check the fuel on the other tank. Looks good. We're going to close that. And now we're going to remove the wheel chock on the other side. We're going to remove the tie down on the left wing as well as the pitot cover. And again, those are good, lights are good. We're going to check this aileron, it's free and clear, which it is. We can move it. We shouldn't be able to move this. This is the flaps, and it's good. That looks clear. And again, we're going to check the elevators. Those are free and clear. Rudder's good. And then we're going to remove the tie down in the back. Alright, so now we're going to get back into the airplane. And we're going to shut the door. And we're going to lock it. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to stow away this tablet for now. And we need to start the engine. So to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to turn the master switch on. And we're going to set the fuel mixture to full and prop to 100%. And we're going to crack the throttle a little bit. Make sure the fuel switches are on, which they are. And now we're just going to switch the magnetos to both and then hit the start button. Okay, we're not getting anything. Let's see, what are we doing wrong here? Alright, so what we failed to do is we need to prime the engine. So first, before we do that, let's check the fuel pump. Let's turn that on, and we should see the fuel pressure go to 100%. Or, sorry, it should be in the green, which it is. If we turn that off, it should stay. It'll fall a little bit, but it's in the green. So now we're going to also prime the engine. So we're going to hit the primer here. And then we're going to lock that. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to try it. We're going to crack the throttle just a little bit. There we go. RPM should be about just under 1,000. We're going to make sure the rotating beacon's on. We'll turn the strobe lights on as well. The other thing we need to do is we need to turn the avionics master switch on, as well as the AP. We'll turn that on as well. Fuel flow's good, RPM's good, manifold pressure's fine, fuel pressure's good, fuel tanks are looking great, oil pressure's good, oil temp, that will rise eventually. Okay, let's set up our flight plan. So we're departing from KMLT, and we're going to set our destination to KBHB. Let's see, what we're going to do is we're going to fly from there to here rather to KLRG, which is Lincoln Regional. Then from there we're going to go to Buzzport, which is tiny to ME. And then from there we're going to go to KOLD, Old Town. Let's see. And from there, what we're going to do is going to go to, I think it's 57B, Isoboro. And actually, we're probably not actually going to go there, but we want to set that as a waypoint anyhow. Our approach into KBHB, we're going to set that now. We're going to do load procedure, approach, and then it's going to be ILS22 via transition, Becra. And we're going to load that, and we are going to make a modification because it's going to give us a hold, and I don't care to hold there, so we're just going to remove it. And that should do the trick. Just to set this up ahead of time, even though we're not going to be using ILS, we can still set up a frequency, and actually it already is set up, so we'll just leave that the way it is. Okay, I think we're pretty much ready to go. So, let's clear this. And release the parking brake. And we're going to maneuver the plane onto the taxiway. Again, we're taking off from runway 11. And we're going to hold short right here. And then we're going to do a run-up test. So what we're going to do is we're going to increase our throttle to an RPM of about 1700, like we're going to take off. Our brake is on. Then we're going to move the magneto switch to the left and watch the RPMs drop. And it shouldn't drop too much, which it didn't. Good. We're going to go back to both. And then we're going to go to the right one and see the same thing. And yep, looks good. And so back to both. And now we're good. So, park and brake off. Runway is clear. We're going to taxi onto the runway. Normally you'd have to ask for clearance. There is no tower here, so you just have to radio and let people know. We are not going to be dealing with ATC in this flight. Just I don't want to complicate things. Alright, so we're going to get lined up on the runway right here. Should be plenty of runway, so here we go. Stop. And we should be good. Before we do anything else, I am going to set our heading bug. We should have calibrate our altimeter, which I'll do that now, and that's good. And also, we need to calibrate our HSI indicator to make sure that it matches up magnetic compass, which it now does. And we're going to get lined up, set our heading bug to, actually we're going to set our course to our current heading. And then our heading bug we're going to set to, let's see here, 184, according to our flight plan. So let's set that to 184. Oh, right there. Okay. I think we're pretty much ready to go. Parking brake off. Full throttle. Liftoff. So what we're going to do here is landing lights on, strobe lights already on. We're going to engage our autopilot and turn to heading mode. And then we're going to manage our climb. So we're about 1,000 feet per minute. And try to gain speed. Set our course to 184. We want to try to stay at about 2,000 feet, 2,100 feet. Adjust our heading bug so we intercept our course. I'm going to change it to GPS mode. And we're going to hold our altitude and right about now. Set that. And we're going to reduce our throttle just a little bit. Let's see, to the right is the airport. Adjust our trim. And so right now we've set our heading so that we're going to intercept our course. Adjust our trim again. And so we're going to start getting situated to match up our course. And I'm going to change the autopilot mode to high track. To reduce RPM, so it's just under 2,400, or yeah, 2,400. Gonna mix, gonna lean out our mixture. Too much. Water just a little bit. Okay, looking good. Okay, something I forgot to do, because I'm used to flying the Cessna, is landing gear, so we're going to pull that up, and that will actually help with the drag factor and increase our speed. Alright, now we're going to be cruising along here pretty good. We're already approaching 160 miles an hour, 160 miles an hour. Okay, so right now we're heading towards Lincoln. So this thing that keeps on complaining is basically just telling us that we need to adjust our trim so that the plane will stay level. We have to basically manage the trim manually. Autopilot will not do that for us, as there is no pitch information, unfortunately. So we're approaching almost 180 miles an hour, so we are cranking right along. So actually, let's reduce the throttle a little bit. So if we zoom out on this map here, you can see that we're heading towards KLRG, which is in Lincoln, and this river right here is what we're basically following, and we're going to be following it. So we're actually, this map is oriented so that this is actually south. So we're heading south along this river. We're going to get into Old Town, and eventually we're going to pass through Bangor airspace. And then we're going to cross over Bucksport area, and then we're going to get ourselves lined up for the approach on runway 22 into Bar Harbor, or sorry, Hancock County Bar Harbor Airport. So that's kind of the plan. We have about 121 nautical miles to go until we reach our destination. We're dealing with a 5-knot crosswind. We're about 2 minutes and 40 seconds out from Lincoln. So we're going to slow down just a little bit. We're going to reduce throttle. And I just moved the landing gear switch to the neutral op position. Okay, we're going to get ready for our next leg here. So what we need to do is set our course to 223. And right now we're passing over, we're getting ready to pass over Lincoln. You can see the windmills off in the distance. The airport is directly ahead of us. You can see the interstate over here, and the Penobscot River running through. So when we hit Lincoln Airport, when we get over that, we're going to start turning. There's a main area, main downtown area of the town. Alright, just going to reduce speed a little bit more here, and then we're going to begin our turn. Just in a second here. So there's one of the lakes, the old mill area. You can see West Broadway and the cemetery. Okay, we're going to start our turn right here. There's the river. Adjust our trim a little bit here. So to the right we have Penobscot River, and Route 2 is what makes that, that's what that road is right here. That's Route 2. And on the left we have Coldstream Pond. It's right here is Coldstream Pond. angle of Cold Spring Pond. To the right over here, to our 1 o'clock, is the town of Howland, and right now we're approaching Buzzfield, which is an airstrip just off Route 2. Okay, we're going to get ready to make our next turn. We got about 15 seconds. We got to get on a course of 201. Set our autopilot mode to track high, and we're going to just continue following this river. You can see to the left is past Cake Village. On the other side of the river is Edinburgh. Current vector is going to take us to Old Town Airport. Pretty spectacular view. Double check, make sure our course is what it needs to be. It is 201. Fuel flow is looking good. RPM's looking good. Full pressure is good. Our RPMs are great. We're still cruising at about 2,000 feet. Crosswind of about 5 knots. Coming from a direction about, I'd say westerly. gonna turn some lights on. Just, it's gonna get a little darker here. The sun's setting. It is beautiful though. Great views up here. I had an opportunity this weekend actually to fly a very similar route out of Old Town, right around this area. It was much earlier in the day, but it was still a very pretty flight. Never done it before. I've never flown that area. I was in a Cessna 172. You can see some of the traffic on Route 2 on the road down there. Alright, so we're basically heading straight towards Old Town Airport. We're going to fly over it, and then we're going to proceed to fly towards, I think I accidentally turned on the transponder. It doesn't matter. Don't worry about it. Anyways, we're going to start flying towards Isoboro. We're actually going to modify our course. Once we get past Bucksport, we're going to fly direct to our approach transition, which is, what is it? Beckra. We actually might go right towards CDLAC, seeing as we're already at that altitude. Fly right in from there. The runway is set up for ILS approaches, but we're not going to bother with that. As you can tell, it wouldn't work in this plane anyhow, because it doesn't handle pitch information, only roll. It's part of the fun of these older aircraft is not in a lot of ways, it's not as easy to fly as some of the newer ones, newer aircraft with all these autopilot systems. Well, the modern ones anyways. Okay, so we're flying directly over the airport. So, now we're heading towards Isoboro. We're currently going to be passing over Bangor. We're entering their airspace. Again, not really going to be dealing with air traffic control in this flight, though you normally would in the real world. I'm just not going to bother. Just complicates things. You can see underneath us is the Interstate I-95, and then on the left here is that is the Penobscot River we are continuing to follow. I think I'm going to increase our throttle a little bit. And, the aim is to increase our speed, move things along a little bit. Alright, we need to set our HSI indicator. We should be... Okay, so currently we're going at a heading of 210. But we're going to want to be going 220. Oh, we're going to adjust our trim down. Okay. Is that right? Can't be right. No, that's not right. We actually want 070 maybe. Well, I think that's actually from if we were going to be traveling from 57 from Isoboro, but we're not. So actually, we're not going to worry about that yet. Let's just we'll continue our course, and then once we get over Bugsport, then we're going to fly direct to that other waypoint, and that will give us a more accurate heading that we need to go to from our current position. So, anyways, we're going to see. I think we're passing over Bangor, getting ready to. We are. So there's Bangor International to our right. See the runway? Get a better view of it in a second. Make sure we're not crossing any traffic. I don't see anybody, so we're good. We're too high anyhow. But, yeah, so there's... Bangor. And this is the Penobscot River. And eventually it's the river follows along here and empties out into the ocean here. And that's kind of where we're heading. Okay, looks like we do have some traffic. Oh, it's right there. He's right there. Okay, we're good. see he's going to be flying right by us. Anyways, he's quite a bit higher than we are. Okay, so we're getting into Bucksport, so I kind of want to slow it down a little bit so we can take a closer look at the area. So we're gonna put out some throttle, and we're gonna try to lose some of the speed. Have to adjust our trim in a second. There we go. So let's go up a little bit. So over here is Bucksport. There used to be a mill there. This bridge is called Prospect Bridge, and unfortunately it's actually not really represented well in the game or in the simulator. It's a lot more impressive in real life, and there's actually an observatory which apparently is like the tallest in the world from what I understand. Or maybe if not the world, maybe the United States. I can't remember which one it is, but regardless, it's very impressive. And the other thing is the view's kind of blocked, but right here is a fort. It's an old fort that was built back in the colonial days in the United States, and it was used to protect the inlet here from the British from traveling up the Penobscot. And it's called Fort Knox. It's currently just a museum. You can go there and check it out. It's very impressive. So, okay, what we're gonna do now is instead of flying out into the channel here, we're gonna turn left and head towards our approach. We're gonna get lined up on our approach. Activate and set our course to 106. And let's see, we're going to change our mode to heading mode. We're going to turn here and hopefully get another good view of the bridge and the city of Bucksport. forgot that I have my landing lights on. You can see the... Do I? I do. Let's turn those off for now. You can see the light pollution from the wing. Pretty spectacular view. Adjust our trim. Need to give us some throttle. See the Old Town and Bangor International Airports off in the distance. Okay, we're going to start straightening our course out here. In high track mode, and adjust our trim. By the way, if you're wondering, the pup in the co-pilot seat, that is Isabel. She likes to fly, obviously. Okay, let's see how far out we are. Not too far out. Speed things up a little bit, let's increase throttle. Just trim down. Just a little bit more. Okay, let's get ready for our approach into Bar Harbor. So we do have an altitude restriction of 2100. We got to be above that. So we should be fine where we're going to be entering into the pattern or into the final approach. So what we do need to do is just double check Yep, so we're going onto runway 22, so we're gonna set our course to that. So we're gonna go over here. And I'm actually going to put our AP mode into ST. Actually, no, let's keep it in high track mode, and we're gonna set the heading bug to our course, to match our course. So when we get to the next waypoint, then we'll just put the AP into heading mode and let the plane get lined up with the runway. And I will prepare, we'll drop the gear, flaps, so on and so forth, and we'll set her on the ground. Hopefully smoothly. We're not that far out, so let's see here. We are, at least from our destination, we're about 15 miles out, so. Trim down a little bit more. Okay, so we're gonna slow down. We're gonna get down to maneuvering speed. So we're going to adjust our trim back up. It's gonna help us lose speed. Kind of want at this point. Increase throttle a little bit. Alright, we're gonna put our landing lights on. We're gonna turn our fuel pump on. And I think you can see the runway over here to our right. So we just gotta get lined up on that. Okay, so trim up. Okay, so at this point, I think what I'm going to do is we're going to put the gear down. And going to update our autopilot mode and switch it to heading. Should begin us on our turn onto our final approach. gonna put our mixture in 100%, increase our throttle a little bit, flaps down. Flaps down again. And flaps down one more time. Alright, so we're going to disengage the altitude hold as well as autopilot, and we're going to bring this plane down manually. Views are spectacular. Slow it down a little bit more. High, so we want to try to drop this down a little bit more. Try to bleed off some of this speed. I think we're gonna do just fine. Nice and easy, hopefully. Yeah. Just like what I like to see. Okay, so now flaps up. Now we need to taxi, and I think there's a fuel station or fuel fill up area over here. So this is Trenton or Bar Harbor or Hancock County Bar Harbor. Taxiway's up here. Turn right here, I believe. Yep, so I think we gotta come over here to fuel up. This is a add-on, by the way, for Microsoft Flight Simulator. This particular airport is Bar Harbor, or KBHB. And it's very well done. They did a great job replicating all the buildings and the layout, taxiways, everything. Alright, so where is... we gotta come over here for the fuel, I believe. Well, actually, you know what? We don't need to bother with fuel. Let's just park for now. Let's see. We'll just, let's see. This seems like a good spot. Try not to hit that dude right there, or this plane. Okay, so. What we're gonna do is we're gonna shut the plane down, throttle out, mixture out. And that will shut the plane off. And we can turn the fuel pump off, landing lights off, and the strobe lights, rotating beacon, magnetos both off, and then avionics, autopilot off. And then that's pretty much it. What we want to do is now shut the master switch off, and we're going to set up the control locks. We're going to turn the tanks off, fuel tanks. And I think that's pretty much it. We'll open up the door. Well, I appreciate you guys flying along with me this evening. Again, this was from Millinocket to Bar Harbor, and I hope you'll join us again. Take care.